Hi guys. So we of course are in week 11. I don't know how it is over on Oahu, but it's extremely windy over here on Maui, which is my excuse for why my hair looks this way. So diving right into this week's video response, the media message I've decided to talk about for my third and final product. I actually kept changing my mind about what I wanted it to be, and I'm still not entirely certain, but I've essentially settled on body shaming because it's something that I feel is extremely present in today's society and needs to be discussed. Um, and so I've settled on body shaming. The only thing I haven't settled on is if I'm going to focus exclusively on male body shaming because I am a male. So would that make more sense than if I focused on only female body shaming, or focusing on both men and women being body shamed? Of course, for a variety of different reasons. I should have picked at least one male example, but the three examples I've chosen to discuss for this video, and what I keep looking at are my notes, are three examples of women being body shamed in advertisements. I have two still images and one video, all of which I'll post along with this video posting so that you can look at the advertisements while I'm talking about them. The first one is for a chip company called Pop Chips, and it is a still image ad with a red background and a headline that says, "Love without the handles," referring, of course, to love handles being a nickname for fat. And the ad features the pop singer Katy Perry in a svelte, with a svelte figure wearing a skin tight outfit, and of course, debuting Pop Chips. And so the ad, of course, is saying these are chips, but they'll also make you skinny, and therefore you can also look like Katy Perry. And so that actually, before I forget, is the definition of the first term from Media Literacy Project that Professor Nelson posted in WordPress for us. The Media Literacy Project reading. My first term from that I'd like to discuss is the beautiful people term, in which good-looking models, oftentimes celebrities, are used to sell a product because the audience will then go, well, hey, I know that person, and also that person is attractive, therefore I can trust this product, and the product will make me more attractive. So that's the beautiful people term that comes from the Media Literacy Project reading that we did for this video. My second ad isn't an ad, actually, it's a tweet by a British journalist named Katie Hopkins, who is known for being, she's a columnist, she's also a TV personality. She's known for being very right-wing, very conservative, but also for being very outspoken and quite crass. And it's a tweet about Kelly Clarkson and how she saw Kelly Clarkson on the Graham Norton Show, which is a British talk show, and she made a remark about how Kelly Clarkson looked like she had eaten her backup dancers, referring, of course, to Kelly Clarkson's physique. And then my third and final ad is a video advertisement for menstrual pads. The company is, and I might be pronouncing this wrong, SoFi Be Fresh, and they are menstrual pads for women. It is a UK company. I'm going to post the video that I'm talking about for the pads below this video, so you can go ahead and give it a watch. And it is about a woman who views herself when she's on her period. They use a different actress who's heavier, who's a completely different actress to represent the character when she's on her period. And then she goes through a bunch of stereotypical motions of crying and mood swings and watching television and talking to her cat, and basically everything stereotypical about a woman being on her period. However, what I'm focusing on is the fact that they're using a different actress who's heavier to represent the bad, and then a skinnier actress at the end when her period is over to represent being happy. And so that was my third ad um, to focus on, is that SoFi Be Fresh video. Uh, the other terms I wanted to touch on regarding to my three examples from the Media Literacy Project, another one, of course, that applies to this is the slippery slope, which actually combines the terms fear and extrapolation. And basically what slippery slope entails is it's pretty obvious. It's a slippery slope, but there's almost no middleman. The slippery slope term basically ignores merits and just says, if you eat the normal chips, you'll be fat. If you eat pop chips, you'll be skinny. If you, don't use these pads, you'll be cranky. If you do use these pads, you'll be skinny and beautiful. Completely ignoring merits and simply saying, it's a slippery slope. First, you don't use these pads. Next thing you know, you're buried on your couch eating ice cream, talking to your cat, doing all the stereotypes of the woman on her period, even though clearly that's not true. And so, real quick to wrap up this video, some deconstruction questions from the media literacy that I wanted to touch on my three ads. The first one, of course, is who is the target audience? Now, you might think from looking at all three of these ads that the target audience would be just women and just people who are overweight. And I'm here to say that that's not so. In fact, these ads are most likely geared towards sort of the everyman, every person, middle class, any weight, any size, because the purpose of these ads is to make everyone connect with them. Everyone knows who Katy Perry is, even if we don't like her. Everyone I know knows who Katy Perry is. And therefore, when they look at the Pop Chips ad, whether or not they like Katy Perry's music, they're at least going to know, okay, I know who she is, she's skinny, and apparently these chips help you lose weight, which of course is not true. So I'm just here to point out that the target audience isn't always the person in the ad. For instance, the visual ad for SoFi Be Fresh, it isn't just chubbier women on their periods, it's all women who have ever used pads, ever, are the audience of this ad, and the reason that the actress has to go through all of the stereotypes is so that any woman who has ever, even once, ever felt any of those will go, that's me. Even though, of course, it's not her and no one ever acts that way. And the next deconstruction question is, what is the subtext? The subtext, also known as the hidden or understated meaning of these. Unfortunately, body shaming, as seen in a tweet and as seen in advertisements that are being released today and being released tomorrow, body shaming is still a major part of our culture. Therefore, its subtext still has an extreme effect on us because we haven't moved past it. It's still present in today's society. The subtext, of course, is that you are never skinny enough, and that these ads, at least. And that brings me to my last point, which is I may choose this project to focus on different types of body shaping, not just overweight. For instance, if I focus on only the male aspect of it, I could focus on, for instance, I'm very skinny. It's, male body shaming for me not being muscular enough, or for men not being tall enough, or for men not being, buff enough. That is another type of body shaming that I could certainly get into with this project. And so that is the counter message that I want to perpetuate is, of course, that you look beautiful no matter how you look. No matter how skinny, no matter how short, no matter how anything, you're fine the way you are, despite what these ads are presenting. There are tons of groups out there that help perpetuate this message, and so I'm definitely going to incorporate some of those groups into my project, so I'm not just treading on old ground. And I'm also paying due where credit is due. Um, but I think, again, because I'm a male, I definitely don't just want to focus on the female aspect of body shaming, even though that clearly is one of the worst aspects. For instance, these ads were very easy to find. It was very easy to find modern day body shaming ads, which is quite a shame. And so, knowing that I wanted to focus on something gender related, this is just something that jumped out at me as something I wanted to focus on. So that was me sort of rambling through my project. And of course, I'm going to delve more into it with my blog this week, and then next week we have our conferences. But I look forward to watching you guys' videos. I watched all your videos last week and definitely paid attention to the Adios Barbie ones once I knew that this is what I was going to be focusing on. So thank you for those. They were very helpful. And I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Have a good one.